All right, Pistons fans, we are 2 games into the preseason, and there are some things to be excited for with this Pistons team, and there are some things that remind us why, you know what? We're still in a restore and we're still trying to figure these things out. So let's talk about those. First, let's start positive. Let's give a positive one. What are some of the things to be excited about this Pistons team? The young talent is one that you have to stick with. And let me get more specific on this. The young talent shows flashes of why they could be really good. And yes, I am talking about Jaden Ivy. I really absolutely am. The guy is just a completely different athlete than anything we've seen in a Pistons uniform for a really, really long time. When you watch him, sometimes he gets going too fast. Heavy turnovers. I think there were 7 turnovers in the second game. But he plays at a speed that is just unbelievable. And for big portions of both games, he was the only thing that we had going for us on the offensive end. And so Jaden Ivey, you have to be excited about. His defense has been okay through the first couple, and usually rookies are bad. But here's the thing that you have to remember, and this is the negative. This is a negative point. While as good as Jaden Ivey is, and as good as the future could be for him, most rookies, and I don't think Jaden Ivey is just going to somehow skip by this. Rookies who are very good rookies are still just average or below average NBA players. And I think a lot of people see that they see the flash and they see what's good, and sometimes even the stats look different. But here's the way rookies do it: they do it streaky. They are streaky. So when you're talking Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duren, these are our rookies. These are our young players. They're going to have great nights. They're going to have horrible nights. Jaden Ivey is going to have nights where he shoots the ball well, like he did in preseason game 1, and then he's going to have nights like he did in preseason game 2, which comes out to be a 38% rate. I think he was like 1 for 10 or something like that in the second game. It wasn't great. His 3-point percentage is still under 30%. He had a lot of decent looks. Here's the thing that I am excited about. I'm excited about his free throws. His free throws made versus attempts. He is actually doing pretty darn good there. So, but so he's not doing bad. But here's what we have to understand: defensively is the thing that's usually hard for us to see as fans, I think, to the untrained eye. And that's where you see missed assignments. Are they in a certain one? And all these different kinds of things that can be a struggle. So let's move on to difficulty number 2, or something that I'm worried about in the second part. This defense, and maybe it's just because it's preseason, we're still switching everything like we did at the end of last season. I actually really understood why we did that at the end of last season. We were playing small for the most part. Isaiah Stewart was our 5, for 30 minutes plus a game, and he was really good at switching. So you may as well just switch everything. Here's the problem that I'm seeing already in the preseason games. Jaden Ivey, Cade Cunningham. I know Cunningham had this a lot last year too. They're struggling with foul trouble. And they're struggling with foul trouble and at times fatigue because they're battling power forwards and centers on the low block. It's not good. There were times where you saw the other team actually laughing about it. The Pelicans were laughing. Zion was having a good old chuckle because they were easily exploiting our defense, and he's on the block with Jaden Ivey guarding him. That is a loss. So with our defense, I don't know if it's just simply the way in which we're playing the defense and the style, and that's just what we've said we're good with. We're good with Marvin Bagley out guarding a guard at the 3-point line and Jaden Ivey on the block, or Cade Cunningham defending power forwards, or if it's just these young players not executing in a proper way and not properly going through their reads and their progressions on the defensive end, not properly communicating. I don't know. These are the negatives of a young team. So even when the offense is going, the defense is still giving up a ton of points. Here's the last negative that I will give on this. There is still a lack of floor spacing and consistent shooting on this team. Killian Hayes is not shooting well. Jaden Ivey, it's 2 games, guys. Just relax. Jaden Ivey's not shooting well. Cade Cunningham's 3 does not look better than it did last year. Stewart's shooting better, but like Bagley's still not making the three. So there is not a lot of shooting. And with Burks hurt, that's really, really hurting us, it seems like right now. I don't know when Burks comes back, if he comes back from this foot surgery. I don't know what Killian's role is on this team. And that's kind of scary to me because I want to see him be able to continue to develop. So, what is the good news? What's more good news? We gave you a good and then we gave you multiple bad. The good news is that this team will, I would say, on every third night, that's kind of the way I'm looking at it, be extremely fun to watch. Extremely fun to watch because it'll click. Cade Cunningham will go off probably every other night. This team will be fun to watch because one of these things will happen. The team will play as a team and wise above their years, and they'll get a W. Cade Cunningham will go off for a triple-double. Jaden Ivy will go off for 25 points, and he will just wow you with some fast breaks and dunks and ability to get to the free throw line. That is just amazing. He did that in the second preseason game. Jalen Duren will have a game where he pulls down 15 rebounds. He did that in the first preseason game. Like, these are all exciting things because we have very talented players. The frustrating part is that I don't think it's going to end in victories, especially in the first half of the year. So, Pistons fans, I don't want you to start getting frustrated with this team. We know the other team in Detroit right now, the Detroit Lions, are sitting at 1-4, and everybody's frustrated, and it's hard. When the Pistons start 1-4, 2-8, 3-10, I don't want all the Pistons fans to be like, oh, they're not there yet. We're done. We're not watching. No, this is different. In the NBA, it's different. You can see this team over 82 games get better and better and better and better. And while they might start off 3-10, that next, or let's just go with 2-8, that next 10 games might be 3-7, and then 3-7, and then 4-6, and then 5-5. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, if you're going by 10 game chunks, and I think by the back half of the season, you're going to have a Pistons team that's playing close to 500 ball. They just weren't ready to do it in the beginning of the season. So hang around with this team. And my hope is that you as a fan and me as a fan, watching Cade Cunningham, watching Jaden Ivy, watching Jalen Duren, watching to see what Sadiq Bey's next step in the maturation is, watching to see which of these other big men is going to come through, to see if Alec Burks can be a legitimate player. Like, for us, once the foot injury, and make see what kind of level of health he's back to see Bojan Bogdanovic, and could he be in the future plans. Look just fine through 2 preseason games. So there are so many fun storylines to watch with this Pistons team. And I know every one of these episodes almost turns into like a season preview, but it's also just because we have to remind you, like, one, it was preseason. We're not running complex sets here, but 2, it just looked herky jerky. I don't know if you could tell that. What? Okay, that's not real bad audio. That was me being herky jerky. I'm so sorry. That was really dumb. But that's what this team looks like, both on defense and on offense. Just let them play together for a little bit. Let them figure out this thing that's called the NBA. Let's see how they progress. And if they're just getting throttled over and over and over again, we'll just get a new coach. I know it sounds bad, and I love Dwayne Casey, and I just think he's a very good man from everything that I've seen and heard in him. But sometimes a little bit of young coaching and an injection of a more fun offense run, things like that could really help us. So we'll see what happens. The Pistons, after 2 preseason games, it's kind of what I expected. There's some flashes of greatness, but overall a team that's just not ready to win at this level yet. So we got a couple more of them, and the regular season starts about a week away. So anyways, excited to see that with all of you. Hey, if you're not subscribed yet, we want to be your best channel for Pistons and Lions content. Hit that subscribe button below, see if we meet that criteria, and give us a like button and give us a comment. We love reading them. See you on the next one.